Okay, so I'm sitting here. There's something that's just been kind of bothering me, and I keep meaning to bring it up, and I haven't. But you know, multiple times, uh, my son's mother, when things come up, she gives me this, Mark, it's different for a mother. You're the dad, and it's just different. I carried him inside me for 9 months, and our bond is so much, blah 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 blah, whatever, And I'm like, where do you get this shit? Like, that's the condescending tone and everything that it's like you're dismissing the father in this whole thing. Yeah. Oh, and several times. Oh, Mark, you just had the fun part. For a few minutes you just did your thing, and then. But I'm the one who carried him, and I'm the one who did this, and I'm the one, you know, and, where, what? Where do you get this shit, And, well, I know where she gets it, from her mother, and probably from her mother, and it's, again, there's nothing original that's happening here. This isn't the first case of, Dad, you're just the dad, and, sorry, but basically what's happening here is you're completely dismissing the role of a father, and the importance of a father. You're lessening the value of my feelings towards my son. Are you kidding me? Because her mom, when, I was talking to her yesterday, Mark, I really can't expect you to understand it because, you're just the dad. It's different for a mother. A mother is, and, just out of respect, I wanted, that the one on this shoulder was like, tell that bitch to fuck off, But, of course, this one was like, no, Mark, don't do it. Just, I let her have her thing, but she went on and on about, you're just the dad, like, I don't remember, verbatim word for word, but it was basically, your job is just to kind of wrestle and play with them, but the real nurturing and the real parenting comes from the mother because it's so much different. And that's a real problem, that's a problem. And again, there's nothing unique or original that's happening here. I'm not the only guy who has, this, has been told, you're just the dad. I'm sorry, but you're kind of insignificant. And I'm the real parent here, And that's fucking bullshit, I want to be a part of my son's life. I love my son, and it's funny that we have these, we go back and forth because, I watched this video on YouTube, and the guy had the kids for the weekend or whatever, and he takes the kids to get a haircut. No big fucking deal, but when he drops the kids off, baby mama, how dare you take my children to get a haircut without asking me first? Really? It's a fucking haircut. Are you kidding me? But that's, it's not about, what I've kind of learned is you have to step outside of this. It's not about the haircut. It's about this bitch wanting control. And that's basically what it comes down to. I'm the boss, and I'm gonna tell you, and, in the comments, as I was watching this one particular video, were like women saying, golly, what a fucking bitch. How many mothers would love for the father to just want to be a part of the child's life, and how many dads aren't even there, And so it's stuff like this, but it's that diminishing, oh, you're just the dad. Oh, you don't have any say. I'm the boss. I make all the rules. You have to follow my rules. And it's like, would you shut the fuck up? It took both of us. We both made this baby. we're both raising this child. But at every turn, Mark, you're just not. Dad, you're just the dad, and dads, and it's throughout, time and time again. I see, I hear people with the exact same thing. They're saying the exact same thing that, fuck, I guess I'm just the dad. I guess I don't have a say. Well, that's bullshit, because you do have a say. You're a parent, and you're just as much of a parent as this woman is, And it's really grating at me lately that to hear this, you just don't understand. Really? Maybe you don't understand, I do love my son, and fuck you for diminishing that, for making light of, my relationship with my son, because you're so much more important because you're the woman and all this, And, not to diminish their role, and things, because, as parents, a child needs the input, there's things that he's or she is going to get from their mother that they're not going to get from their father. But there's things that they're going to get from their father that they're not going to get from their mother. And, there's a lot of just straight up single parents for whatever reason, whether their significant other passed away or he or she is just a fucking douchebag who doesn't want to be a part of their kid's life. So there's this father raising a daughter, or a son by themselves, and they have to be like that movie, Mr. Mom, or this woman who has to, work, 2 jobs or 3 jobs, or maybe just 1 job, but has to be the role of, I have to be the father, to this child. And, that's sad because, a child needs the yin and the yang of that, the mother and the father, and for people, and I really, not to say that it hasn't, been thrown out there, but it just, again, in my experience of all this, I feel like, it's predominantly where the man is just kind of just brushed away. All we are is a credit card, an ATM, a means to, pay for things. And that's basically it. I don't, like, if I take my son out, she wants, like, updates all the time. What are you doing? Where are you at? What are you doing? Where are you going? But she doesn't give me that courtesy. She doesn't tell me, I'm taking Zane here, or I'm taking him that, I get shit, but I'm expected to, I have to report every little move I make, like I'm on probation or something, and if I leave the house, I better ask her permission first, because if I don't, fucking, there's going to be a shit storm to follow. And, that's bullshit, because I guarantee you, 100 times they leave the house, go shopping, do whatever, I don't know about it, she doesn't feel the need to, let me know anything, I have to literally be like, how's my son? What's going on? Otherwise, what do they call it? Whatever, communication, just nothing, radio silence is the word I'm looking for. I don't know, I couldn't think of that. Anyway, so as a father, I'm in radio silence. But if again, so there's this huge double standard. That's, again, sometimes I have to talk for 5-10 minutes before I come up with that, what I'm trying to get at. And that, again, is that's what it, it's this double standard. Mom is up here, dad, we're just, again. And that sucks, I doubt that, me sitting here and talking about it for 8 to 10 minutes is going to change the world. But, I don't know, My computer just got kind of weird there. Again, that is the whole purpose of me making this channel and me posting these videos is, because men need to have a forum to be able to express themselves and talk about things, in a no judgment zone. It's all friendly fire, so to speak. Because otherwise, we're not allowed to. Again, some guys look at it like you're looked down upon for expressing your feelings or wanting to, just talk about things. We need to be able to talk about things and not just keep them all crushed inside of, because otherwise you're going to fucking, like my counselor says, he's like, dude, if you don't talk about this shit, you are going to fucking stroke out because you take it all in, you take it in and you take it in and you're not letting it out. So it just builds and builds and gets packed up in there. You need a faucet. You need to be able to turn it on and let it out. And that's what, again, that's why I'm doing this. It's not to bash her and say you're a fucking bitch and, you have this big, it's a place for us to come together and to be able to, you can click, play and say, wow, goddamn, that's exactly what I'm going through right now. She just told me that same thing, because again, you're not alone in this. What's going on, this isn't it's not original. It's not like you're hearing the Beatles for the first time or, Jimi Hendrix, playing the guitar behind his head and all that craziness. This isn't original. This has been happening since this shit started, since, the first time somebody decided, oh, I can use my kid and hold him here and say, oh no, unless you do this, you can't see your son. Or you can't, or just whatever, a breakup, a divorce, whatever it is that you're going through, this is a forum for us to come together. And it's not oh, man, we hate women. And no, because like my shirt says, I love me some boobs, And while I'm not, jumping out there looking, I haven't, been trying to do that whole dating thing and meet people because up until the other day, honestly, as bad as things have been and as much arguing and just at it as we've been, I kind of thought that maybe there was a light at the end of this tunnel where we would be able to, I don't know, somehow get through this, and kind of the moments that were that big slap in the face with sound effects was, when you're arguing with somebody, you're mad at them, you're angry at them for hurting you or for whatever, you're in the middle of an argument. A lot of times we say things that are hurtful, we say things with that intent, especially if you know this person, you kind of know, you tell a fat thing or, whatever their insecurity is, you kind of poke at it a little bit just to hurt them, and I'm guilty of it as well. And a huge moment was, I don't know, I think it was Monday after Mother's Day. On Mother's Day, she went out to her brother's house, and they do Mother's Day out, so she's a guest in her brother's house, with her mom, everybody. It's, this big get together there, and she was given it's so hard to be me, and I have to work, and it takes me away, I have to work and do something, and that takes away my time, because she used to not work. She used to just stay home and I would work, and she would just be with Zane. And so in the process of her, given this, oh, it's so hard because now I have to have a job, and be in the real world. Her mom's like, you know what? Shut up. There's women who work 3 jobs and don't get half the time and don't have a man who pays your car payment, your car insurance, your phone, your miscellaneous, a shit ton of money every month, which is exactly what I do. And I agreed to it, without going through the court, because I knew she couldn't do it on her own, and I didn't want my son to suffer, this drastic change in lifestyle just because we couldn't get along. So, I agreed until child support was settled that I would pay all these, a lot of her bills, if, as long as I could, and so, we were arguing, and, she's talking shit to me, and I said, I'm really not, I don't remember how exactly it came up, but I was basically like, I'm kind of not going to take this, like, super serious, because you're somebody who, who's judging me, but yet on Mother's Day, you got into the screaming match with your mom, to the point where you had to leave, and, I'm like, it's Mother's Day, so, you talking shit to me right now isn't really affecting me, because I'm considering the source. And when I said that, holy fuck, just this big shitstorm of, I hate you, everybody hates you, and, my mom, she passed away in 2012, and, from complications from a lung transplant that she had. And, I have my mother's ashes, and they're downstairs in this glass case. And so she sends me this text message talking about, I hate you, everybody hates you, and why don't you go talk to your mom? She's in that box downstairs. And I thought, wow, really? And again, I saw it for what it was, just her, lashing out and whatever. But, sometimes there's just things that, you're like, that was completely uncalled for. Because my mom, would just give her money to, like, look, just had this baby. Here's $100. Go get your nails done. Oh, why don't you go get your hair done? Oh, here's this. My mom, hooked her up. And for you to, say that, it was just kind of one of those moments that you just stop and you say, this is a moment where, a lot of times you're arguing, you say things, you wish you could take it back, but some things just, yeah. So that was one of those moments. And then pretty much that final nail was yesterday. She was mad at me and yelling at me because I took my son to see his long story, whatever. We went to go see my biological mom because I was adopted. And it was her birthday, so we drove out to see her. And my sister, who is Zane's aunt, and my niece, who is Zane's cousin, and I didn't ask permission first, So there's this big, huge blow up, and then in the middle of that was, and that's after when I talked to her mom, and that's when her mom gave me, tying in from earlier, that whole, well, Mark, blah, 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 you're just the dad, and you're insignificant kind of thing, diminishing the whole dad role. So, we went through that, and then she was like, well, just take care of my son. I'm actually going to lunch with Chris. And I was like, that Chris was her ex-boyfriend, who, when I met her, she was still with him, but he was, at that time, currently incarcerated in prison. So, she sends me these text messages talking about, yeah, you know, fuck you, true love never dies. And I met up with, I'm having lunch with Chris and blah, blah, blah. And at first I thought she was just bullshitting, like just trying to make me jealous or mad or whatever. And I thought, well, send me a picture. No, I'm not going to send you a picture. But then later she sent me some screenshots of this conversation that she's texting this guy for real. And I was like, you know, maybe, you know, you want to meet somebody, we're broken up, you know, life happens, you're going to move on. All this time I haven't, you know, because I had this hope that, you know, somehow things were going to, you know, somehow, I don't, pan out and work out, and we would be able to figure something out and whatever. But, you know, even she was still living in my house in the process of, you know, I'm moving out, I'm gonna do this, and she would show me on her phone, look, I'm on a dating site, look at all these guys that want me, and I'm like, that's kind of bullshit, because I pay your fucking phone bill, and you're fucking on dating sites, and living in my house, I'm paying all your goddamn bills, and you're fucking on dating sites already, you haven't even moved out, you know? And then, so I'm like, that's some fucking bullshit. And then, you know, she sends me these screenshots of, oh yeah, we're talking, and I thought, you know, a little cutesy stuff, and I'm like, fuck this, you know, straight up, just fuck this, you know, and that's something you're really not going to walk away from. If you were to meet, you know, again, life happens, you move on, but here you're talking, of all people, to this motherfucker, you know, some fucking pussy-ass dishwasher, you know, who can't fucking get a job doing anything else, you know, and, you know, it's just the fact that it's this person specifically, you know, that I just thought, was I jealous? Yeah, you know, there was this pang of, you know, I was mad, you know, and I was jealous, and I was like, fuck this bullshit, man. But, you know, there was also, that, and, you know, of course, there's, you know, a big, huge dollop of depression added on top of that, where it just completely fucked my day. Like, you really? The phone that I'm fucking still paying for, you're talking to this motherfucker? So, yeah, there was, you know, anger and jealousy and depression all wrapped up into this, you know, pretty little package. And I just thought, I can't, fuck, what kind of bitch would I look like if I fucking, to sit here and, what the fuck am I even thinking about taking this bitch back for? Fuck that shit. Fuck that. I can't do it. So, and that was yesterday. And, so I've been really happy about that, you know. But, you know, fucking John Lennon said, life happens while you're busy making plans, you know, so, yeah, that's all I can say about that. Cop a little Forrest Gump there. But yeah, it's fucked up, you know, but it is what it is, man. It's real life. So, yeah. So that was just that nail in the coffin that said, man, dude, there's really no turning back from that. So, yeah, that realization kind of set in where, you know, fucking, dude, it's not going to work. You're not going to fucking take this woman back. You know, you just have to fucking, you know, that's it. But anyway, I've rambled long enough. I got, you know, some topics out that, you know, shit that was on my chest. And again, this is a place for us to come together. So, feel free to comment, ask questions, talk, whatever, interact. Dig it, subscribe, you know, because I'm in the very beginning stages of all this fucking craziness. So I will definitely be posting more videos. So where's the off button on this thing, man? Until then, peace out.